We're talking about Perrysburg Transit today. This episode is a follow up from episode 28, all the way back in February 2024. Episode 28 of the Perrysburg Podcast was part 3 of my Planes, Trains, and Automobiles series. That episode, of course, was about automobiles. Welcome to the Perrysburg Podcast, episode 125. I'm your host, Perrysburg resident Kim Newlove. The Perrysburg Podcast is a resource for Perrysburg residents. We talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. Our website is perrysburgpodcast.com. Let's talk about what Perrysburg Transit is and why you should know about it. Most of the episode is going to be about what it is, and then at the very end, we'll talk about why you should know about it. According to the City of Perrysburg's website, Perrysburg Transit provides door-to-door transportation services for citizens who need a ride to their medical appointments, work, shopping trips, and more within the City of Perrysburg. For passengers who use the Toledo Area Regional Transit Authority system, also known as TARTA, Perrysburg Transit vehicles also have 2 connecting points. One's at Meyer in Rossford, and the other is at the City of Maumee Municipal Building. That ends the description of Perrysburg Transit from the City of Perrysburg's website. Let me just unpack 3 things about what I just read. Number 1, this is a service for people who need to get around inside the city, not the township. If you live in the township, but you find yourself in the city and you need to get around, you can use this service. It's also available to people who are visiting the city who aren't even Perrysburg residents. So if you're staying at a hotel inside Levis Commons, for example, you can use Perrysburg Transit. The second thing that I want to unpack about that description from the city's website is that the description mentions TARTA. It says on the City of Perrysburg's website that the dispatcher at Perrysburg Transit can help you schedule your pickup and drop-off times to coordinate with the TARTA schedule, as closely as possible anyways. Now, as a former Toledo resident, I lived up there for about 10 years. The as closely as possible comment is important. TARTA buses, God bless them, don't always run on time. But if you're flexible, using TARTA is a good option, so ask the dispatcher for some help. And the third and final point that I'd like to expand on from that description there on the city's website is that Perrysburg Transit provides door-to-door transportation services. What does door-to-door mean? Well, according to Michelle Emge at Perrysburg Transit, drivers have experience helping wheelchair users get from their door to the door of their destination. People who are ambulatory or capable of walking tend to meet the driver curbside. But in case you haven't seen the Perrysburg Transit vehicles around town, they do have wheelchair-accessible minivans. Next, I will give you some basic facts about Perrysburg Transit. Their office is located here in the city of Perrysburg. The address is 116 West 3rd Street, and that's in historic downtown Perrysburg, right along the railroad tracks. They actually share a parking lot with the Lamplight Cafe and Monarch Grief Center, among other businesses. I can't think of a reason that you'd need to stop by their office, but I did so today because I needed to ask Michelle a few questions for this episode. But at least now you know where it is. It is located right here in the city of Perrysburg. To arrange a ride, go ahead and call 419-872-8430. That number again is 419-872-8430. It's on the city's website, and it's also in the show notes for today's episode. Office hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, Monday through Sunday. The city's website recommends calling 1 week in advance if possible, up to 1 week in advance. They only have so many cars and so many drivers, and they have a lot of regular customers, according to Michelle. So if you need a ride, call up to 1 week in advance. Now, even though the office hours for the dispatcher are 8 a to 4 p, Perrysburg Transit actually provides transportation Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a to 8:30 p, and Sunday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. All of the Perrysburg Transit vehicles are equipped with wheelchair ramps and other accommodations for passengers with disabilities. Service animals are permitted. Now, if you have a special need as well, let the dispatcher know so they can accommodate you. And when I read that, I thought about my mom. My mom is able bodied and able minded, but she needs to sit in the front seat of my car. Otherwise, she gets car sick. So if she were to arrange a ride with Perrysburg Transit, I'm sure that she would mention that she needs to sit in the front seat. If you have any sort of a special need, let Perrysburg Transit know. How much does it cost to use Perrysburg Transit? Passengers ages 13 and older pay $1 for each leg of their trip. Children ages 6 and under ride at no cost. The website mentions that they have a policy for children ages 12 and under. It says, unless previous arrangements are made with our dispatch office, children ages 12 and under must be accompanied by a parent, legal guardian, or another adult when on board a Perrysburg Transit vehicle. And that's it for cost. You can find Perrysburg Transit's cancellation policy and inclement weather policy on the City of Perrysburg's website as well. I'll have a link to that in the show notes for episode 125. Two interesting points are that number one, it's possible to get suspended from using Perrysburg Transit for 30 days if a customer has 4 cancellations or 4 no shows within a 30-day period. And number two, Perrysburg Transit will run service under a level 1 or level 2 snow emergency, but not a level 3. It's important for businesses to have boundaries, and I think those two are pretty clear. Now that you know what Perrysburg Transit is, what they offer, and how much it costs, I would like to comment on why it's important to know about Perrysburg Transit. The audience for this podcast is future and current Perrysburg, Ohio residents. According to my stats, I have listeners in most U.S. states. So, at last count, in the last 90 days, it was 30 states and about 30 different countries. Now, if you're listening to this and you're considering a visit or a move to Perrysburg, this information may be important to you. You may also be a current resident and you just don't know much about Perrysburg Transit. I hope this episode has helped. You might see the vans driving around, and you don't need a ride yourself because you're driving around in your own car already. So typically, you wouldn't pursue information about Perrysburg Transit. But if you live here in Perrysburg and you ever need a ride, now you know about it. Or if you ever meet somebody who does need a ride, pay it forward and tell them about Perrysburg Transit. Perrysburg Transit offers an affordable way to get around the city of Perrysburg, and they have a 12-year track record of serving our community well. Perrysburg Transit, thanks for all you do, and thank you very much to Michelle Emge for providing input for this episode. Keep up the good work, Perrysburg Transit, and happy holidays. Thank you very much for listening to episode 125 of the Perrysburg Podcast. The show notes are on perrysburgpodcast.com. In the show notes, you'll find links to Perrysburg Transit via the City of Perrysburg's website, TARDA, and more. If you know someone who would like this episode, please share it with them. And subscribe to or follow the Perrysburg Podcast for all future episodes. There will be a new episode of the Perrysburg Podcast every Friday until July 2026. And if you'd like to be notified about each episode by email, join my email list. There is a sign-up form on perrysburgpodcast.com. There's also a link to sign up in the show notes, so click the link, fill in the form, and you're in. I will email you every Friday. Thanks again for listening today. I will talk to you next week. And if you want, stick around for the bonus. I'm going to give you 5 reasons to use Perrysburg Transit. This is the bonus. All right, here's 5 reasons to use Perrysburg Transit. Number 1, medical appointments. Number 2, happy hour at a bar in the city of Perrysburg. 3, church on Sunday if you don't have another way to get there. Number 4, the Perrysburg Farmers Market on Thursdays between May and October. And number 5 is if you're perhaps a teenager, 15-year-old teenager, and you want to get to the movie theater at Levis Commons and you don't have any other way to get there, try Perrysburg Transit. And that's it. That's the end of my list of 5 reasons to use Perrysburg Transit. There's lots of reasons to get from point A to point B. If you need a ride, think of Perrysburg Transit. Happy holidays.